What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today when I talk to you about Polestar, I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what's been coming out from the company itself, and why today is a very important day for Polestar. So I want to go over all the things that you need to know, but first make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So right now it is Thursday, pre-market, no real change as you can kind of see right there, but it's all over the place. After hours yesterday had a high of $1.58, low so far this pre-market of $1.43. So it's all over the place and seems to be Polestar's like inverse to the broader market. Yesterday, everything was really rallying on a lot of the data that did come out, which was a CPI right here, came in better than anticipated. Today, we have PPI on the chopping block at 8:30, but that did really fuel the optimism for rate cuts, and everything went up except Polestar. But still, regardless, Polestar is up a pretty astonishing 122.89% over this last 1 month. So I don't think anyone's complaining all that much. As far as news, so my last video, I was kind of annoyed the fact that they did abruptly switch the CEO right here because it was gaining a lot of good momentum. But that was just a one-off. Clearly, the market didn't care all that much. But generally, I think right now, the market is looking for value plays. So that's one thing that's been really kind of benefiting Polestar and some other EVs as well. But especially Polestar, I've brought up time and time again, like they were kind of getting priced in for bankruptcy. Like it did not make logical sense. But beside the point, I think they've made a lot of good improvement. They recently, looks like, appointed this individual as a CFO. Don't really know much about that, but clearly, again, the market really liked that because it went up. And as of right now, especially with Polestar now officially in the States, they can benefit from rate cuts because rate cuts, yeah, they help the businesses and whatever else, but they also directly affect consumers and their buying power. And by rate cuts occurring, so for instance, for the September 18th meeting, there's a good likelihood of a 25 basis point cut, followed by on the November 7th, a 50 basis point cut. And some analysts are forecasting that one whole interest rate percentage is going to be cut in 2024. So again, really driving up consumers' buying power, and that would again really help Polestar. So all in all, I think bigger and better things might be coming for Polestar, but there's one thing that might be benefiting Polestar a little bit more that people might not be realizing. So if we take this, zoom out, look at exactly what has been happening with Polestar. Amazing run, by the way, but consecutive days above $1. Right now, today is day number 10. And essentially, if you guys don't know, Polestar is somewhat on the chopping block with the NASDAQ. So they have a delisting notice. Polestar was given 180 days to rectify that deficiency to get over $1 for 10 consecutive trading days. 9 times out of 10, most companies that get these delisting notices do resort to doing a reverse stock split. Polestar, I think like when it was at 60 cents, a lot of people, even myself, were saying, yeah, you know what, they'll have to do a reverse stock split. But Polestar just said F you to the market and just went up. So today is day number 10. So essentially, based on the NASDAQ rulings, like they will be free and clear. Of course, the NASDAQ rulings does state between 10 and 20 consecutive trading days. But I think that 20 is more so for risky stocks, definitely not in Polestar's case. So today, assuming they close above $1, which is fair to assume they will be getting the free and clear from the NASDAQ, and so no longer on the delisting notice. And so again, that would be a huge catalyst. So once that does come out, I can anticipate a hell of a lot of buyers and other large entities really getting into Polestar. So let me know your thoughts on that. I have frequently brought this up. And so these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. Based on the bid, the ask, and the selling price, you have been seeing a lot of buying. Still, only 2 transactions per day. But no matter what, though, when I was covering Polestar, and I've been covering them for around 2 years, sometimes we had weeks and weeks and weeks without no transactions whatsoever. So this is definitely a good breath of fresh air. if that makes sense. And again, with the compliance from the NASDAQ, I think that's just going to stimulate that so much more. So this is something to take note of. And of course, this is adding a lot of just upward momentum for it. Dark pool seems to be a little bit more active as well. Not as much as the secondary market, mind you. So there was no transactions yesterday on the 11th. And usually dark pool is linked to shorting and other large entities. And shorts haven't really done all that much. So right now, 38.4 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 96.93. Short score is 83.82. Cost to borrow average is fairly high as well, so 78.7. So shorts have actually been returning quite a lot. Not a squeeze exactly. Don't want to get that wrong impression out there, but definitely something to take note of. Options, the dollar value still is relatively low with Polestar, so that, again, something to keep in mind, but 49,000 in calls being done on, so this is all Wednesday's data from Wednesday, and 7,600 in puts. 46% of all the options being done on Wednesday. Again, we're optimistic and bullish, kind of orienting it for it to be above $2, which in my opinion is a fair bet. I think given the trajectory, Polestar above $2 is realistically heading there next. And then looking at the puts, you don't really see that much negativity. As of right now, though, with it at $1.50 and change, it is trading between this R2 and this R3. So $1.39 will be the next strong support that you'll want to watch for Polestar to hold in the next couple trading days. And then $1.63 will be that next strong resistance / target. So kind of just trading within this range. Even the pre-market and after hours is just following this. One thing to consider, though, is that now with Polestar kind of pushing above that like good momentum over this last little bit, now with a $1.50, just have to look at the open interest. So you do see 11,000 at that $1.50 strike price. So essentially, if Polestar is somewhat around that range come Friday, you do have shorts and market makers having a little bit of a financial interest to try to push it below $1.50. So this is why you see, for instance, SoFi and some other stocks that kind of trade within close to the strike price come Friday, they usually get pushed down the last 15 minutes to like $1.49, $1.48. That way all these options expire worthless and market makers don't have to cover them. So yeah, I think all in all, that's something to now consider since Polestar did run up. But on the actual chart itself, it is above the 200-day moving average. The chart looks absolutely phenomenal. And normally whenever a stock kind of goes outside the Bollinger Band for a unjustified reason, it does get dragged down a little bit. So of course that's what happened on the 3rd with that CFO change or appointment. But yeah, honestly, their technicals are looking very good. Number of retail investors have been getting in. Oddly, they were getting out a little bit yesterday, but generally ever since it looks like August the 5th, they've been slowly getting in. Stochastic, you do see it at 94, so that is considered rather overbought, but corrections, stocks can stay in overbought status for a very long time. So again, it's not something to worry about, but meaning the first sign of weakness associated to Polestar or the broader market, you could see a kind of significant pullback. So something to keep in mind as well. So let me know your thoughts on Polestar. Are you a buyer? Are you a seller? Do you think with the compliance news from the NASDAQ, there's going to be more entities buying into Polestar? I feel like that's realistic to assume, but what's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.